The first DNA test models would be the caveman, as we call them. Limited in knowledge and understanding, the DNA test models were able to learn basic skills and record events in a very primitive fashion. Cave painting, visual interpretations depicting visitations from space beings in flying machines. Eventually these beings were titled creators, gods, omegas, but were in fact genetic relatives. Eventually, the process became established on the surface of Earth. Silently, over thousands of years, the Martians' name would change. In fact, the name would be a combination of the two, Earthlings and Martians, creating Marthlings. Inevitably, as time passed, the Martian genetic DNA would disappear from the human DNA branch, and what is left would be Earthlings, the end product of their genetic clone engineering. Over time, the moon became vacant. The shields that were once working to protect the structures were shut down and no longer work. Meteors and other missiles from space would eventually destroy a vast amount of the structures. The bases, the labs, the living quarters would disappear under the sands of the moon. The remaining structures, which I am sure there is, may still hold valuable collections of DNA and other technologies, forgotten and yet to be discovered. Maybe some have been discovered. Who knows? And that could be why there is a new-found urgency to seek a new host planet for future generations. What do the governments and space administration companies know? What secrets do they have? So what we have then is a world destroyed, Mars recolonized for a period of time on the moon, and then, finally, established here on Earth. Over thousands of years, the true story of what had been was forgotten and slowly faded from generation to generation and was eventually lost. Stories and myths were created by man to give them a sense of faith and belonging. But then, when man went to the moon, they found a mystery, a clue to our ancestors' past. That is when something was discovered. That was the beginning of finding the truth. That is when man discovered the story of a possible fate for Earth and discovered a history that linked with the ancient history here on Earth today. Visitations from the creators, or gods, as they became known as, would have been recorded as a visual digest. Those messages and interpretations would eventually tell a story that could be understood by a superior DNA model. Today, we have superior beings with high IQs and abilities that are above the average threshold. Could these people be the final stage of perfect DNA manipulation? Could there be mixed races here on Earth today that contain the Martian and the human code? There is a vast mix of different colored people, looks, and spoken languages on the planet Earth now. Maybe, hiding within the world today, is the missing link, the Martian DNA, that has mystified man for so long. Eventually, we may have the knowledge, the understanding, that our previous forefathers possessed, and with that knowledge, man will better understand what he must do to survive. Even today, I think the creators watch Earth from a safe distance and continue to travel freely about Earth. They will reveal themselves, but only when they know that the Earth is ready for such news. Some of Earth's inhabitants already know, but are programmed to withhold the information, and they are not even aware of that fact. Perhaps those people hypnotic type of mind control that is being monitored by the creators. The information will hold the key. Maybe the people that have claimed to have been abducted are telling the truth. And the reason for their abduction is a simple one, to maintain the level of hypnotic mind control and to compare relevant DNA samples that have been planted here on Earth before. Who is to say otherwise? I think the superpowers of this world already know. To open up and tell the world of such a finding would create uncontrollable issues. Religion, for one, would be cast into the light of question, and that would be disastrous. The level of understanding and ability to think openly about this subject is perhaps regarded by a lot of people as crazy and deranged. But, nonetheless, it is interesting, and to allow yourself to think outside the square and ponder on such a thing is a gift. Once upon a time, it was regarded as insane to think that man could go to the moon or even fly like a bird. Look now. Who is insane? So, I ask you, why not ponder on my theory? Is it because of the truth? Truth can be very damaging. I do believe that there is a truth, and that truth will be revealed in time.